Hello YouTube. Just wanted to show everybody my new reloading press. It's the Dillon 550B. It's not new. I bought it used, but I got a pretty good deal on it. On my previous video I had two Dillon square deal Bs. I sold them and bought all the stuff I needed to get this one going, all the dies and stuff like that, so it's a pretty good deal. Some might ask, why did I get rid of the square deal Bs? Because they only load pistol, and I might want to start loading rifles, so that's why I got this one. Also, it's a little bit easier to change for calibers. The square deal Bs wasn't bad, but this one's a little quicker, and I kind of like it a little better in some ways, and some ways I don't. As you know, this one is manual index, where the square deal Bs were, auto index, where when you pull the handle down it advances to the next round for you. This one you have to do it yourself. I like that a little better because doing it manual, sometimes when you're setting it up and you don't need it to turn, it's a little better in that aspect. But I don't know, I guess both of them have their pros and cons. It took me a little bit to get used to this one, but it's alright. I wanted to show you some of my other stuff I have in here. This is where I keep my powder. Right now I only have 4. And today I'm going to try out this Hodgins tight group. See how it works on 9. I hear it's pretty clean. Fills the case pretty well. So I'm going to try it out. I like the clays for 45 ACP. Oh, it's a real soft shooter. Very clean powder. Very clean. The 2400 I use for my 357. I like it, but I found that trying to make a medium load, it doesn't quite burn all the powder. I may look into something different for my 357, but other than that, if I'm using a pretty good charge on it, this works fine. But if I shorten it down a little bit, I find it leaves a lot of unburned powder. I can feel it. After shooting a few rounds, I can feel the powder kind of splattering back on me. I like that. Now this stuff here is all around everything. Oh, this is some good powder. No complaints on it. You can darn near use it for everything. And this one here, like I said, I don't know too much about this one. Other than I think it's a pretty good all-around powder also, but I'll find out if it's clean or how well it does as soon as I make up some more. I've only done 9mm so far. I don't know about. I'll let you know in a future videos or something how well this stuff did. On my reloading press, also there's notes that I don't know, trying to give people some ideas like this here. If you notice, this is a metal primer rod, to help the primers go down, and then once it get full, it hits the primer alarm. Well, this one's made out of metal, and I don't know if you could see it, but I don't know if I can get this little cheap camera to focus, but here the guy has it numbered. Let's start down at the bottom. If I can get it here. Well, that right there says, well, if I can find it on here, but well, can't find it. But anyway, right here where I got my finger, it says 100. And then right here, my next finger, it says 75. And then I've got 50 and 25. That lets you know, as it drops down, you get an idea about how many primers there is. And it's pretty good, and he did it pretty good because it's about right. So I got it already filled up. So I'm ready to go there. This is my berries. I started buying berries, plated bullets. I tried lead, but as you know, lead's not too good to shoot indoors. Yee. Trust me. But anyway, so I started using these, and these are pretty clean. And they do real well with the press and the guns. So I like them. I bought some. I got a whole box of 38 357s and stuff like that. Okay. I would recommend some pistol calibers. You get these case gauges. These really help because I've actually loaded up some ammo and got it stuck in the gun because I didn't realize something was wrong and it didn't fit in the I needed to crimp more or something like that, or it wasn't, my press wasn't set up right, and ended up having to take it to a gunsmith to get the round out of it. But these are pretty good. Now 38s and 357, I do have a 357, which you really don't quite need one for a 357 unless you're shooting it in a rifle, you know, where it chambers. But I bought one anyway, just to, you know, I check a few rounds, make sure the press is set up right, and I like that. Okay. And I have, you know, this is where I keep my clean shells. Once I clean them, of course, 9 is missing because I got it sitting over here. But I got them in order, you know, 380 all the way up to 45 ACP. And little spare bins for miscellaneous primers and stuff like that. And speaking of primers, usually I buy a bulk pack of 1,000. And I would recommend people, if you buy like an even number, always buy one extra. Because you're going to mess up a primer somewhere. Something's going to go wrong sometime. And I hate having uneven amount of bullets. Say, for instance, when I put them together in my case, I only end up with 98. And you don't want to open up a brand new pack because you mess up your, you know, round count. So if you buy 500 primers, buy one extra for a spare pack. And, you know, just dig out of there and finish up your ammo with that. Another thing I recommend, I recommend using a bullet puller. And you will use it because you will mess up. Or even though, you know, sometimes when I set up my press for a new round, you always end up making a dummy round. Well, you can, you know, use that to get it out with. Here I have, there's my empty cases I need to fill up with ammo, and some primers and some more. Those are actually some lead bullets that I still keep just in case I end up shooting outdoors. And this is my setup I use for my I guess my die holder setup. I took a, you know, 4x4 drill and I made a section for each one. So here's where I put the tab. Those little advancing tabs. I don't know what you call them, but anyway, you know, if you got a press, you know what I'm talking about. And all this stuff here I got from the hardware store. I screwed it down into wood, just made something up. I found it online, and I took the idea and ran with it. This is where I keep my primer tubes and the pickup tubes and stuff like that. I just drilled holes in it and placed them in there. And this here, you know, I just keep, and I made a little spot for my Allen wrenches that I might use. And these here are just spares that I have, you know, because I end up getting, I think, I'm going to get a die set for 38 and probably 223, so I made some extra room, and I do have some more space. If I move this out of the way, I do have a hole there for another one whenever I decide to get, you know, if I get another caliber. So it works pretty good. I like it. Only thing I need to do now is buy me a powder measures for each one. That way they're totally be set. Of course, you know they're expensive. Darn near $100 a piece, so I'm gonna have to buy one at a time. And then this is my Rcbs single stage press. It's I think it's called the partner press. But anyway, I got it for this right here is the Lee Bulge Buster. That's when I do 40 caliber. I can get the bulge out of them because I had picked up a guy's ammo that come from a Glock. If you know about what I'm talking about, they're kind of fat at the end, and this thing here works great. I have an attachment. You put the attachment here, put the shell in, and you push it straight through the die, and it straightens the whole case, and you don't have that bulge at the end. So that is something, that's a pretty good thing right here. I like it. It works good. Doesn't take long to get them done. As you can tell, I already got a bunch of 40s that's already been done, so they're all straight. And these were all Glock. As a matter of fact, I have, I think there's about 1,000 up here that's hadn't been finished. They're clean, but they're not done yet. They're still been shot through a Glock. And that's all I can think of on this. Let's see if I can get a few things here. I'm going to pause this for a minute and get something set up, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, I'm back. I put some powder in, and before I start, now most of my dies are already set up, and what I like to do is I'm going to advance this, put me in a fresh primer, and on the second one I want to check and make sure my powder is still set. Put it on my little scale. I have this set for 4 grains of powder, so I'm going to run it through here. I usually do a few first. Make sure okay. Alright, now one more, and then I'm going to measure it. Make sure it's right before I start. And it's right on. Alright, so I'm going to leave, since that one's already done, I'm going to put that one back. See, this is why I like the manual index. I don't have to keep trying to chase it down once it goes to the next station. It stays put. So now, and then I put my next shell in there and get my bullet ready. Oh, I almost messed up, didn't I? Okay, look at there. I just thought about it. Sitting on camera here, I'm not paying attention. I already put powder in this one. So I need to put it in the 3rd station. Alright. Alright, now let's put the bullet on it. Because it's already got powder in it. I'm going to let it up. There we go. Alright. every once in a while that primer didn't seat right and it's got it stuck. So let me pull that out. Let's see if I can get it out of there. Darn it. Now that's, see what I was talking about, why I keep a spare pack. For some reason this is I don't know what kind of brass or what bullet. It's a 9, but the primer don't sit in there too well. So I'm going to discard that one. See, that's one primer gone. So we're going to move on. I'm going to come around here. So now that's a perfect example why I always keep a spare pack. Because you're going to mess up something. You're going to lose a primer or two here and there. So I don't know. I don't know. I would always do that. I'm glad I thought of it because I hate uneven numbers in a pack. But I'm not going to go through and make this whole video on me reloading this. But I just wanted to show you how this one is not as bad as one might think. Or, you know, if you're thinking you need an automatic press, it's not as bad as you might believe, or you might think the other one might be better. I get them done just as quick. I would almost, if someone's reloading, this one would almost be a better way to start, since it's manual index. You don't get all confused with the thing turning on you when you're trying to set it up. But at any rate, alright, I'm not going to put any more there. I'm just going to finish up what I got here. Yep, see that? I was a habit of pushing down for a primer. And that's it. And then my case gauge here. Let's see if this thing fits in there. As you can see if it goes in, if you put it in and it slides right in and slides right back out, that's going to cycle well in your any handgun. And you don't want your bullet, of course, sticking out of the bottom, because then it's the overall length is too long. But there, look at that. So that's it. All right. If you have any comments or anything like that, feel free to leave them. You know, I answer questions or anything. I'm no expert, but that's it. All right. Thanks.